Hi, I'm Jed Herne, author of the upcoming fantasy novella Fires of the Dead, and this is Daily Writing Advice. I have a challenge for you, so listen carefully. Can you take it further? Can you make that setting in your story, that interesting setting where the characters live in trees, can you take it further? Can you make the trees 3 times as big? Can you make the trees alive? Can you make it so the ground is acid or whatever and the trees are the only way humans can actually survive by swinging between them? Can you take that small castle you have in your story and make it big? Can you make that castle something that is atop this massive spire of rock like the Eyrie in Game of Thrones? Can you take something that is, again, this is another Game of Thrones example, but we'll go with it. Can you take something that is meant to be a border, a division between one set of ideas, one set of people and cultures, and another, and can you make it into a towering wall of ice, several hundred feet thick, that is gigantic and has been there for hundreds of years? I think what I love so much about fantasy is when authors are brave enough to just go full pedal to the metal, extreme with their stories. It doesn't just mean in setting either. It could mean in character. Rather than just having a character who occasionally makes some interesting punny one-liners, why not have them do it all the time? If you have a character who's super flamboyant and out there, why not push it further? Why not think about what they're going to wear, what their house is going to look like, what the horse-drawn carriage that they ride in, how are all these things going to reflect their character? To give you a bit more context here and a useful example, this was a critique that came up in architecture school a lot. So I might do something, this is not something I've necessarily done, but we'll just have an example here. I would have a couple of interesting slanted columns outside of a building that I was designing, right? And then the tutors would be like, Jed, why not push this further? You've just got a couple of columns here, but then it's just a boring normal building here. And in that situation, it's a great question. Why not take this further? Why not make the whole building suspended off hundreds of columns? Or there's this great office building in Japan, which basically is just this gigantic hangar-like space with tons and tons of thin columns, so it almost feels as if you're walking through a forest of steel trees when you're in this place. Taking it further is how you take your book out of the pack. It's how you take your book to a new level that's going to mean that readers don't just read it, but they really enjoy it, and that they will pass it on to their friends and have an elevated reading experience that's so much more than just another bland novel.